Alongside her husband Bill, Gloria Gaither was gospel music's soul. She sang farewell with a delicate voice and heartbreaking honesty. Perhaps to us all, not just the stage. Behind the scenes, what caused this tearful goodbye? Why are fans worldwide preparing for the saddest chapter? Gloria Gaither has been more than Bill Gaither's wife. She's the soul behind some of Christian music's most powerful tunes. She has affected hearts worldwide with her strong faith and timeless words as co-writer of numerous Gaither classics, and the poetic voice behind many of their songs. Gloria, 82, has sent admirers a moving message that marks a turning point in her life. Gloria looked tearful as she thanked fans for decades of love, prayers, and support in a Gaither singing group video. "There comes a time," she said, trembling, "when you feel a gentle tug on your heart and feel God beckoning you to a gentler season." Gloria hinted to retiring from public appearances and huge events without saying so. She wants to spend more time with family, writing, thought, and stillness, a dramatic contrast to decades of touring, performance, and preaching. Gloria Gaither was born Gloria Sickle on March 4, 1942 in Michigan, into a Christian family with strong morals and a nurturing home that valued education, literature, and music. Gloria was gifted in words and expression early on. She was a talented student who loved poetry, writing, and painting. Gloria studied English at Anderson University, a tiny Christian college in Indiana, after high school. She developed her intelligence and spirituality there, which influenced every song she wrote. Gloria met Bill Gaither, a young, lively music teacher at Anderson. They started as co-workers. With his brother and sister, Bill formed the Bill Gaither Trio, experimenting with gospel music. Their common love of faith and creativity brought them together quickly. Christian music changed forever after their 1962 marriage. Gloria initially taught English at Alexandria High School, while Bill dedicated himself to music. However, her lyrics and poetic insight began appearing in the trio's songs. Bill wrote songs, and Gloria's language skills brought them to life, with unforgettable lyrics that touched millions. She made her mark with the hymn, "Because He Life," written during a difficult time in their life, were pregnant with their third child, and during national instability. Many considered Gloria and Bill Gaither the perfect Christians by the late 1960s. They had a young family, were happily married, and dedicated to music ministry. But beneath the surface, they were facing their most difficult emotional and spiritual moments. The world was a mess. The Vietnam War raged. The civil rights movement shook America. Protests on college campuses challenged Christian beliefs. At the same time, the Gaithers faced their own uncertainties. Bill was exhausted from touring and ministry pressures. Gloria, pregnant with their third child, was plagued with dread about the world they were creating. They relied on faith during this emotional storm. And something amazing happened. Gloria found serenity and confidence in God's promises while praying and seeking comfort. In that quiet, spiritual moment, "Because He Lives" was written. Lyrics were not easy. Pain, anxiety, and hopelessness spawned them. They resonated with millions because of that. That song was recorded in 1971 and rapidly became a global hymn for struggling Christians. More than a hymn. No matter how uncertain the present, it was a declaration of trust in a God who holds the future. "Because He Lives" propelled the Gaithers, especially Gloria, to unprecedented heights. She became more than a gospel singer's wife or a behind-the-scenes writer. She was considered a great theologian, poet whose words moved the heart and soul, even as the spotlight shone, kept anchored. She wrote songs, devotionals, novels, and comments on faith, family, and purpose prolifically. She co-wrote almost 700 songs with Bill, many of which become church classics. The way Gloria combined sophisticated theology and real humanity in her lyrics may have made her contribution unique. She didn't overstate her writing. She wrote from real life: motherhood, ministry, sadness, joy. Gloria remained influential in the 1970s and 1980s as the Gaither singing band and homecoming video series gained popularity. She rarely had a microphone, but her voice was everywhere. Every lyric, prayer, every audience-touching moment. She also became a mentor to emerging Christian artists and a popular women's conference speaker. She was unique in a male-dominated sector due to her calm, introspective attitude and intellectual depth. Her gift wasn't only what she wrote. She grasped the human soul, daily hardships, and faith's enduring hope. Gloria quietly wrote, spoke, and ministered with grace and wisdom, while the Gaither Trio became the Gaither Vocal Band, and the Homecoming series took off. As she retires, fans reflect on her gospel music and the incredible journey that transformed a small-town teacher into a pillar of faith through song. In the 1970s and 1980s, Gloria Gaither became a quiet gospel music revolutionary. Gloria's voice sustained their creative and spiritual legacy, while her husband Bill was often the center. Her influence was quiet, but significant. American and international Christian families loved the Gaither Vocal Band and Homecoming series. They performed and ministered through song. Gloria's songwriting was unique in its depth and literary elegance. Gloria's songs were full of religious insight, poetic imagery, and emotional honesty in a cliché-filled field. She made teaching personal, translating God's grand mysteries into lines that regular people might sing through loss, joy, doubt, and trust. One of her greatest contributions to gospel music was narrative. Gloria wrote more than choruses. She recounted stories about darkness to light, despair to hope, and death to resurrection. Her songs were intellectual and powerful. She saw the redemption arc in Scripture and human existence. She put that insight into lyrics that still stir hearts. Gloria spoke for Christian women across generations in addition to her singing. In Christian music, few women assumed theological or artistic roles. She broke subtle barriers. She didn't perform in glitter or heels or sing backup as a pastor's wife. Gloria was a mother, thinker, intellectual, and spiritual counselor. Dozens of devotionals, spiritual notebooks, and reflective articles were hers, often examining faith, culture, identity, and family. Her books helped mothers, ministers, and others cope with life's unspoken problems. She shared her troubles. She didn't pretend to know everything, but she could refer folks to the right person. Her legacy involves generously investing in future generations. Gloria emphasized education and discipleship, jointly founding the Gaither Homecoming Bible and Family Resources Center. Her mentorship and platform provided openings for future gospel musicians, especially women who looked up to her as a lyricist and role model. Despite the rise of notoriety and appearance, Gloria stayed focused on substance. "We set out to be faithful, not stars," she said. That dedication made all the difference. A life lived was behind every Gloria Gaither lyric. She was never showy, very rarely sought attention. Anyone who spent a moment with her could feel her gentle spirit. Her religion wasn't showy. It was tried, polished, and lived in real life. Gloria's greatest service was her daily presence. Friends call her thoughtful, discerning, and a listener. She wasn't loud. She brought tranquility. She asked deeper questions at meetings. She brought calm in emergencies. Her loyalty as a wife was intense. She and Bill were soulmates throughout their 60-year marriage. Their connection was difficult. Raising 3 children on the road, managing a large ministry, and meeting public expectations were exhausting. Gloria was always a steadfast presence. Her motherhood was intentional and nurturing. Her children remember a mom who was always there, despite her busy schedule. She wrote songs late at night after the kids slept. She taught her children about Jesus, compassion, honesty, and responsibility through lengthy walks and chats. She was a wise, devoted friend. Many artists, writers, pastors, and intellectuals credit her with defining their Christian vocation, having mentored them. Her uncommon talent was recognizing and lovingly highlighting others' gifts. Gloria Gaither connected tradition and the future as a lady of religion. She loved traditional hymns but asked tough questions. She kept biblical truth but allowed complexity. Her faith accepted nuance, deep enough to carry it. Her life demonstrated how to live properly, privately, and publicly. She proved that ministry success is determined by faithfulness, not fame. The strength of a song depends on its life, and that servanthood is true greatness. Gloria leaves more than a repertoire of treasured hymns as she retires. Her legacy is knowledge, elegance, and resilience. In churches, funerals, and lonely hospital rooms, her music will continue. And happy family gatherings for centuries. Perhaps more importantly, her example will inspire men and women to live meaningful, humble, and faith-filled lives. As she said, her lyrics should resound in this farewell. The Son of God was named Jesus. He came to love, heal, forgive. He lived and died. Though Gloria Gaither is known for her spiritual depth and exquisite lyrics, her closest friends know that her main ministry has always been her family. Home was behind every concert, song, and book. That home had laughter, long conversations, music, and faith. Suzanne, Amy, and Benjamin were her children with Bill Gaither. Each was fashioned by Gloria's steady hand and compassionate heart, but also by their parents' ministry. Oldest Suzanne Gaither Jennings has long been involved in the Gaither business and ministry. Suzanne organized Gaither Family Resources and co-wrote several songs with her mother, including homecoming classics. Suzanne has continued the Gaither heritage by combining economic savvy with a strong reverence for their musical and spiritual legacy. Middle child Amy Gaither Hayes pursued her own creativity. Poet, performer, and teacher, Amy inherited her mother's passion of language and reading. She has acknowledged in interviews that her upbringing was intellectually rich, with theological, artistic, and interesting dinner conversations. Ben, a producer and songwriter, co-founded Liveborn Media and collaborated with his parents on several homecoming projects, she said. Though modern, his music is based on truth, family, and faith. All three children regard their mother as a parent and role model. They remember her patience during the frantic years of traveling, her late-night writing sessions after bedtime, and her tendency of turning daily occurrences into spiritual lessons. Family vacations were simple, yet sacred. Protected time together. Gloria put her family first, even when ministry was busy. As Gloria expressed her intention to slow down in recent months, the Gaither family responded with gratitude and emotion. They always saw her as a strong, stable presence, who kept things together on the road. Her children and grandchildren are supporting her as she quietly steps back from the spotlight, honoring her wishes for a quieter season. They've stated that her legacy continues. Gloria Gaither's wisdom will continue to reach new audiences through books, reissued music, and preserved essays. Bill Gaither expressed his respect and support for his wife's decision in a recent interview. Gloria has donated much. She's given her words to the church, family, and globe for over 60 years. I think she should rest, embrace her grandchildren, walk in the yard, and listen instead of always talking. She deserves that. The grandchildren, now teens and young adults, also appreciate her presence. Some have posted on social media that Nana was their favorite storyteller. She carried a journal and a fable in her heart. Her admirers call her curious, smart, and graceful. Gloria's modest video and poignant words on stepping back have moved people worldwide. Social media lighted up with tributes. She received hundreds of sympathetic YouTube comments on her farewell video. Her songs got me through cancer. I found Christ through Gaither homecoming videos, and Gloria's remarks always made me cry. He lives at every birthday, so my mom played. Gloria's comments bring her close, even if she's gone. Her achievements have been honored at U.S. and international churches. Radio stations paid homage for 1 hour. Some fans made compilation videos about how her songs altered their lives. Responses have been surprisingly personal. Gloria Gaither never wanted fame, but her sincerity made people feel like they knew her. She composed the lyrics that matched your grief, reminding you that God was in control and that faith didn't have to be flashy to be real. Her hymns are played every day in nursing homes. In prison chapels, they echo. In quiet living homes, framed sheet music and faded CDs preserve her words. As fans say goodbye to her public presence, not her life, they breathe a communal sigh of appreciation. It's time to listen more than speak, rest more than struggle, but she hasn't said goodbye. She teaches by example. Once she leaves the stage, fans and relatives clutch onto her presence in their lives. A legacy inscribed in lyrics and souls, not in stones or lights.